Nice. Fatal. Hello. Poodlestein, hello. How you guys doing? Hope things are all right. Ahoy, Raggedy. How you doing? Martin, yo. Pontus, good to see you, man. How you been? Funky, what's up? Funkalish, how you doing? I'm just getting a few things set up here. Maybe I can turn this on. Rex, what's up? Amadross, what's up to you? Hello, hello. Endless days of being on parental leave. Ibby, hey, Ibby, thank you for the 16 months. BTVR, hello, hello. Jasper, hello. Good to see you. I'm just loading up the images I can load up now. If you'd like your stuff critiqued, there's a channel in the Discord called Stream-Critique. You can get your stuff posted in there, and if it fits in the 2 hours, we'll get to it. Looks like we're getting there, too. There's quite a bit of stuff in here. Funky posted stuff as well. Hell yeah. Okay. On DC, what do you mean DC? Discord? I haven't seen Discord abbreviated. Man, I'm like sleepy, so I made coffee. I literally ground out my own grind of coffee beans and did a pour over. We're in for a ride. That's what's going down. D-Real, how you doing? Polysocks, good to see you. Hello. Okay, I think we probably need to get started because as I see it, there's a ton of images that have been posted. This is great. Okay, let me just tone this down. Is the mic okay for you guys? It looks like it might be running a little hot, but let me know. And if stuff crashes, webcams and whatnot, we'll figure it out. It's not the DCU. Mic's good? Nice. Nice. Okay. Let's take a peek, shall we? There it is. There it is. I'm gonna turn these on. Hello. Hello. Cool. Maybe I can put myself over here today. We can look at the first post. The Dynasty Cinematic Universe. The DCU. Poodlestein up first. Only asking for a quick look since I probably be booking a call with you soon. I think I went way too noisy in the first pass of texturing and displacement of the hut, so critiques of the close-up would be most welcome. Okay, let's take it in. So it's interesting that you're doing displacements on the hut, but I feel like the trees could use some displacement just to get the silhouette to be a little bit more on the chunkier side, you know, like not chunky like thicker, but chunky variation in the silhouette. The beard looks good. Dude, I have no beard yet. Are you kidding me? But I haven't been shaven since the first, so, you know, it is what it is. Good to see you as well, Frank. So we look at the hut. I can see what you mean by maybe it's too much displacement. Like it looks a little strange around here. The moss, I can see what you're doing with the moss as well. Some nice card placement. Let's copy this image and see if we can't get it into Photoshop here. Oh, nice. Cool. Grayscale. All right, let's zoom in here. So we've got some cards, right, that you're placing. Holy, okay, hang on. That's a thing. You've got some cards that you're placing. Let's pretend that we know where the silhouette of the root or vine is. And what I'm seeing is the cards are kind of, they're sticking up at about the same height, or at least it feels that way. I think what I would actually do is around the outside edges, I try and taper it down. So it's like highest in its core, and then around the outside edges, you shrink it down, just so it feels like it blends back into the tree. And I'm assuming that there's maybe moss being painted under this as well. You want to use that as like a bit of a buffer around where moss cards are placed. So like, for example, this whole area here, between the cards themselves and the trunk or the branch or vine or root or whatnot, you want that to have the moss material as well. That way it just helps with the transition and smooths out the effect as it goes across the object. I mean, displacement wise, it's not all that. I think it's doing some really nice stuff. Like, I really like all this little detail that's happening on top. This I don't mind as well. There's like a cool edge there. This area here, this spot starts to feel a little alien. Like, you don't know how to identify with like what the material is. And the inside, this edge is quite straight. I would definitely get some displacement on there. But it might be a combination of like color matching and seeing what the surfaces look like. We got a nice seam here. Just the general info on the surfaces, like I can see there is a moss here. It just needs, maybe the normal strength inside of the moss could be a little stronger. That's actually painted. But then from there, you probably need to get some detail normals going on. I think you would really benefit from detail normal maps. If they're there, they're very subtle right now. I think in this image, the area that's working for me the most right now is, let's do this here. So I really like this area. I like this area here, just with like how the wood is blending with the moss and all of that information. This area right here feels really good. And you've got a nice like transition happening from the hut and the roots to these like medium-sized rocks to smaller rocks, and a little bit of leaves and whatnot on top. Maybe the rocks that are smaller need this little bit of highlight on here, just to kind of draw the connection between all of the rocks. Because right now you can see this surface and this surface; those feel like two different rocks. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Webcams, let's go. Let's go. I think I need to order another one. I think my webcam's actually dying. That's got to be the only real thing that's happening. I think my webcam is like toast. Let me deactivate and reactivate it. Because if I deactivate it and then reactivate it, ta-da! I'm okay. I have no idea what's going on. Anyways, I think this makes sense what I'm saying here. If I just like do some masking action, you can see like all of a sudden they're blending in a little bit more with these rocks, and I think it's that color contrast and what's happening there. I think that's what's going to help with that detail. The other thing is it feels like there's like a studio light on the structure. I don't know how. but it feels like there's like a big spotlight with like a diffuser hitting it. So I think if you were to, let's just dupe that off and push that down just a hair. You can see already it's starting to feel a little bit more natural in the environment. We don't want to push down the midtones too much, but we do want to pop your shadows a little bit. So I think that can give a little bit more natural lighting to it. The other thing too that you could do is with the areas that are in focus, you can keep those warm. Jay Lee, dude, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Cram, also, congrats on the interview. Anything that's not coming from these warm lights, we could try doing the, just a different temperature for the environment. You're already doing it a little bit back here, but this is so orange by comparison. Nice. Get started. Let's go. Let's do this. So if we cool this off even just a little bit more, and then we'll just mask out the warmer areas. Nice. Dude, this camera is like choking to death. It's gonna be great. Should the light inside be so bright? It's very bright right now. You're definitely getting a little on the too bright side. But yeah, I think the contrast is really helping. What I would do is probably half the brightness of these interior lights, and then I would half the brightness of your ambient background lighting as well. Dude, okay, I'm killing my camera. I'm not having it right now. Facecam.pmg. Let's go. You guys all right with that? I'm just gonna nuke it. Boop. There we go. I like kissed my fingers and pieced out like no one's business. So many collectible cards today. Dude, I don't know what the heck's going on, man. Anywho, I think this goes. Where am I? I think this goes a long way already. Seeing that detail. The foliage is looking really nice and soft, so that's really cool to see. You get a little bit of clumping going on in the moss here. Let's just highlight some of that so you can see it's just a little. You're getting a little bit of this action. But yeah, let's look at one of the other images here. See, this one's pretty cool. I'll copy this image and we can look at it through like a compositional lens. So if we look here, dude, there's some really nice like gradients going on here, and I like your fog that you have down below. Maybe a little thick, but like over here it's working really well. Yeah, the trees in the back are looking awesome. This is drawing attention and is confusing my mind sense on scale like no one's business. Like I can't tell how big or small these leaves are or how far away they are. It's so you love a wide shot. See, and for me, I'm like, bro, let's bring this in. You do something like this. Where this is being framed right now is like, it's almost like you want to maybe go wider. I like putting this somewhere around here. I'm a sucker for this type of framing though. So if you did that, and we can just like, I don't know. Can he do it? Can it be done? Probably not. Nope, that's cool. Nice. Nice. Jeez. It's like, what are you even trying to do, man? It has no idea what's happening. Does this work? So I must be getting confused with the... Oh, that's so weird. Anyways, I'm just going to do this. And we're just going to, nailed it. I know how to Photoshop. So compositionally, I think this helps a lot. Because this is going to keep bugging me. I can't handle it, guys. But, I don't know, hopefully this helps with the composition. I'm just trying Band-Aid. Band-Aid, please. Please let me Band-Aid. Yeah. Ah. There is a content aware crop, but I don't want to. But you can see how much this is, like, how wide the shot is now, but everything compositionally is just locked in, I feel. Let's just do. So if I do the content aware fill, I'm just going to always lean on it, and I want to be able to paint at least a little bit. You can see this is like, oh man, everything is, yeah. Let's go. See, I feel like this should be toned down a little bit because it's competing with, like, focus. You don't know until you know. Really, really nice. Let's look at the last image and then we can move on. Oh, this one's good too. I feel like maybe if the camera was a little bit lower and then looking up a little bit, you would get the framing that you're interested in, like with all the detail up above. But man, this is cool. I think so I like how you incorporated the trunk here. I know we talked about this previously. Maybe the bottom of it being so exposed is giving you this hard line that's stopping you from visually progressing. We're talking about giving your eye an area to flow with. Just bring a few chunks of land up and then lower it back down, and it'll naturally just kind of melt together. And then you'll have like a smooth path there. I think that'll help a lot. And again, I think the backdrop is just a little too bright. But yeah, I'd love to go here, and I know for a fact my shoes will not be able to handle it, and they will sink into the ground like no one's business. Okay, Frank. Overall critique on my scene. Thanks. This is coming along nicely. Let's take a peek here. Maybe I can just pin this here. There we go. So you definitely have a lot more like storytelling and like micro details that are bringing everything together. Oh, too soon. I think it's now about contact. First contact. Spoilers. Yeah, this scene's really coming together. So there's a little bit of depth stuff that you could play with that would really help. What's really working in this shot is you can see that, okay, the door goes in a little bit. You see that this frame that's like a security mesh is giving you nice depth between the two, between the back wall and where that's at. Now, when you look at this shot, for example, taking these garage doors and just pushing them back, I don't know, like 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters, just getting some depth in there, that will help you like no other. It's crazy how much that helps. Because it makes like right now our brains are deconstructing the scene as quickly as possible. That's just like how the brain works, right? So we're looking at this and we're like, okay, how do I visualize? How do I break this space down in case I need to escape because I'm being chased? And it's like fight or flight moment. This is what I'm seeing. Of course, it's very averaged out, and I'm just kind of doodling, but that's what I'm seeing, right? And if you can add complexity to these primitives via like depth, like pushing this in, that'll go a long way. Because see, now the bottom here, now this changes, right? That breaks a little bit. This overhang that's up on the top here, or like, let's see, like pushing this one in as well. I don't think you need to do it everywhere, but the more that happens, the more the space starts to feel natural and more organic, more permeable in this, like the greater sense of just how reality is. Where this edge is, it's nice that you're lining up the grout with that. You could probably bevel that just to get you away from that hard edge, or place like a decal, a floating decal that just kind of gives you a little bit of a damaged edge to that transition from the shadowed side to the lit side. Some other things to be adding is like you're doing a really good job of adding. So these I would consider like the medium details. This is a medium. This is a medium. These are small, right? These are small details. This one I would put in the small detail as well, just because of the frequency of it. These generally I think are small. Like they could be in like a small category. But what I think you're missing is going to be the details that are the next transition, which is like micro small. I guess if we want to go with you want your Microsofts all over this, your little Microsofts. No, but realistically, getting those smaller details, like an alpha that you can place here, that's got a little bit of trash, a little bit of cigarette butts, a puddle that you can place here. Just these little tiny, maybe this is like a little puddle that goes against the wall. Itsy bitsy, yes. Those smaller details are what's going to really start to get everything to connect together. So like back here, you could model a receipt that just like goes up against this and goes along the ground. That immediately connects everything. But yeah, I think you get the point. Some other things is whenever you have electrical stuff, figure out where it's plugged into. Like, is this a wire that runs up the wall here? Decal placement for this is going to be really important. Just contact stuff is going to be really integral to just bringing everything together. And yeah, I think you know what you're doing. It's just these kind of smaller details that I'm thinking about. But I think overall, let me see here. I mean, overall, it's really coming together. This sounds crazy, but you see this railing is quite straight. Just add like I know you're not building this for a game. The roughness in the tiles feels off. It feels a little flat as well, but it might have to do with the way it's being lit right now. I think you might be onto something for sure, Jay Lee. There's also, you can do a decal for a gradient of roughness. So you get your roughness for the tiles feeling pretty good. And then you place a decal, or in the shader, you've UV'd for like a gradient of roughness difference beyond the wall. What I was going to say is, so I know you're not building a game, right? You're just building an environment. So you can take these larger shapes, you can combine them into a single unit instead of placing them manually. And then in your 3D package or in Unreal, just do a soft select and give like a slight bend to the railing, maybe about here, that softens as it goes around, just to give you some organicness to the railing. How these meet the ground here as well, this concrete. These are very like, it's strangely off center, which kind of throws me off. It makes me off center. I don't know. But yeah, Be Single, how you doing? Good to see you. The other thing you could do is maybe take these AC units and just expose a variable that gives them a slightly different color. Maybe one's a little off yellow. Maybe one's like a black or a blue metal. Like it's like coated. Just to give you some variation in the surfaces so that they don't get called out all the same or all in the same. Maybe the double ones could be a different color, and then these ones are just slight shifts of the same color with a different bit of value to them. Otherwise, I would try and like make it feel like there's some gradients in the ground just through either decal work or like painting in the core area here. And I think that'll do it for this. Like there's some pieces that aren't here yet, right? Like this doesn't feel like it's been had a material pass yet. All these down here haven't. This hasn't had a pass. You've got a lot of posters. You know, if there's anything I've learned from this like type of environment, build yourself a texture sheet of like, I don't know, 50 stickers. Make an event out of it on the Discord. On our Discord, be like, hey guys, just make a thread and be like, yo, I wanna put a bunch of stickers in my environment. Everyone could design stickers and then they can put it all in one thing, and then you just make it free to everyone to use. And now everyone's got a sticker sheet that they can plaster stickers over everything. So we're thinking graffiti, stickers, just like decals of, oh man, that's how you add that life, you know? Little food boxes, delivery pallet. There's all types of like little smaller details that they're coming. I can see them. They're on the way. Yeah, exploring what the businesses are of these places would be a great idea. I mean, they are the back. I get the feeling that these are the back doors of the businesses. So it's usually like guy's on his counter break, blah, 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 comes out in the back, smokes a cigarette, and just chills. Empire stickers, TM. Dude, bro. Don't get me started, man. Really cool stuff, though. Really, really cool stuff. I think if there was something you could do about hinting at the above, just in the lighting, I think I've mentioned this before. Let me see here. Like, this is the edge of the building, right? Let's see if we can't just get up there. Oh, I'm including that. Do you see how much that affects the scene? And then you can do something, I don't know, with the edge here, just to get the edge of the building. Water puddles are going to be really nice, for sure. But it gives you an understanding of the space a little bit more, and hints at more on just out of view. Yeah, that'll do you wonders, because you want to give some depth, especially back here where it's like in shadow. I can't tell if these two buildings meet, which I don't think they do. It feels like they're supposed to go around, especially with stairs here. Might be, I don't know. Maybe they're combined. I can't tell. But yeah, super nice. This scene is slapping, man. I'd be interested to see some other texture maps from you. Just some buffers of like what's your roughness look like? What's the albedos look like? Because you can use that to overemphasize some stuff, get some things to pop out a little bit more. You can send them right now. Oh, you stop. You get out of here. That'd be awesome. I'm gonna keep moving, and then I'll jump back to those. And but yes, post away. So next up, I believe, is Martin's piece. It's this one here. Let's copy this image. So this is a block out of the new environment. Would love to hear your thoughts. If there's anything I could add to improve the composition or just improve the overall lighting. The idea is an Arctic station in a snow blizzard. I mean, I think if it's in a snow blizzard, man, that might be pretty tough to let me think here for a second. So compositionally, I think it's already pretty strong. I like how wide this is as well. I think what I would do is, like, what you could do is just trace out elements. So you see you've got this, you got this. I guess we do this. We have this action going on here. Then you have this thing. Then we have this element. I'll just do it like that. And then we've got this element way back here. You've got a boat. And then you've got this line here. Of course, there's this also, but it gets really lost. You can see, like, when you simplify it down like this, I mean, maybe I should draw it more like this, because this is like how my eyes are pathing to things. There's not many in the Arctic. Yeah, so yeah, if you're going Arctic. Oh, thank you, Frank. I'll take a peek right after this one. You could see how over here it gets really complex pretty quickly. And I think if it's a blizzard, I would really focus on getting the visibility really low. And occasionally you can see the structure. Like, it's quite difficult to see what's going on. And yeah, I would check how far, like, if you're saying Arctic, it's very lacking in trees. Miro, what's up? How you doing? So it might be worth being more sparse with the trees. Maybe you can use them for framing a little bit more. I mean, maybe this just goes out to water, and then you just got the boat kind of chilling there. But I really like what you've got going on here. This feels like maybe it's just a tad bit too far away. You could do glaciers. It depends what you want to do with I mean, I would let's see here. Just gonna play around here for a second. I'd get closer because the focus is this building. Like, there's all this snow here. You don't really need to see that. Like, the only reason you're going to want the snow down here, I guess, is because you want to really show, like, snow buildup, right? We're in mouse mode now. But getting this this information going. Really build that snow up, though. Like, really clump, you know? And yeah, let's see what else we can. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I think framing wise, this is probably a little bit stronger. Because this is still, I mean, if we look at the, like, it's still centered up, right? You want this on the third as well. I think when you go wider, you can afford to put this, like if you think about it like this. So, oh man, how would I? Okay, let's do it like this. I'm just gonna eyeball that. There we go. Cool. So you can see where this is at, but think about it like this. This space here, like this empty space here, it's on a third inside of a third, which I think works really well when you become ultra wide angled or like have these really wide shots. But yeah, I would get your snowstorm in as quickly as possible just to figure out what your visibility looks like. So that way you're not having to worry about what you're focusing on. I would remove most of these trees probably, and then just maybe work with the tops of the bank on the back there. Like where's all of that stuff at? Where does that lie? You know? And that's your horizon, right? And you can use that to have like a nice soft gradient. Like if we remove all these, you can use that to have like a nice soft gradient of the horizon, because you know the sun never coming up. Yeah, if we were to take this, let's just eyeball this real quick. We'll just put a lock on there, and maybe we'll super soft gradient out there. I think that could be pretty cool. But yeah. Hopefully that helps you with the composition, because I find this, to me, this feels stronger than the previous composition. Let me copy it again real quick here. Oh man, is this not gonna, hang on. Cool. So if we just scale this down, invert this, we'll go back to the, nope. Oh, there we go. Yeah. You're kind of getting the same shot, but we're able to get the building closer. Do you see? I don't know. What do you think? Oh my God, bro. Because the focus is definitely this building. And like, of course, like when I brought the tree close, it's clipping with the boat. I would try and incorporate the boat in the frozen water a little more if you want it to be there. Because it's conflicting with like the tower here, and like there's like three things trying to be told in this one spot. But yeah, cool. It's a cool scene, and knowing how you've executed your previous stuff, I'm very excited to see that one. That's gonna be freaking awesome. All right, let's take a peek at what Nick's been up to. So you're going back to the. I can I can never say the name. Stalinhag challenge. Amazing artist. Trying to finish this up. This base robot. I would like to make sure the quality bar is high and that I've reached it before applying it to the other assets. Would love some feedback on making all the materials better, though not needing to be one-to-one with the colors. So a lot of the readability is like, what is the surface you're trying to portray here, right? Whoops, hang on here. There we go. What is the surface you're trying to portray? So if we copy this and then let's go to I'm just gonna, don't mind me. Yes, let's scale this up. Nice, great background. Let's go. Oh geez. Oh man. I'm going nuts here. And then let's grab the other image, which is like grabbing the concept. So it's far enough away. Just upgraded to 96 gigs of RAM. Hopefully Houdini stops crashing. I mean, it depends what you're doing. I work with people that need 512 gigs of RAM for Houdini. It's a ride for sure. We'll do this here. So when we look at this, guys, I'm so picky, man. I need to chill out. So there's no detail that's here that you're trying to imply. I would leave that blank. I would have that going and don't even explain it. Don't try to explain it. Just because it's drawing attention to itself. Now, of course, this is pretty far away and the surfaces look a bit strange, especially when you zoom in. There's all these like little random colors. What I would suggest doing, I like what you did with this. I think I would take this darkening effect that you've got going on there and put that in the roughness. A lot of the information you're doing in here, I would put in the roughness. It also feels like it's a tad oversaturated. So the surface is just overall really busy. And I think toning that down as well as the saturation is going to help a lot with grounding it, especially if you want it to look more like this work. We don't need to color match it like you're saying, but it's just a little saturated. So it's outside of the PBR range. I would go a lot more simple with the surface detail itself. Like, I don't know what these are. I don't know what this is, but it's red, and I can't understand why. Like, what is that made out of? What's happening here? Also, this dent here, you would likely, I would probably just not have this part here and just accept it on this area. And yeah, I guess it's metal because of the way this is, but this, you can see with the horizontal lines here, it feels more like it's concrete-like. So I would go a lot smoother with that and then rely on rust and I guess because it's near the water, you can rely on like salt breakdown on the surface. But yeah, I think it's saying a lot without telling me what it is. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's like, I see this is happening. Okay, that looks like it's maybe metal. And then this looks like concrete. I don't know what these are. And it's red, but then it's darker red for some reason. Maybe that's like supposed to be a burnt effect. But yeah, I would simplify the surface and describe it in very binary terms. So red paint, metal, rust, and maybe chipped paint edges. And that can probably get you very far very quickly without becoming too busy. Yeah, I hope that helps. Let's take a look at Funky's piece. Hey, no problem, dude. So Funky working on a kitchen. So first render is straight out of Blender. Second one is in post in Photoshop. Maybe I can copy. Man, that aspect ratio. Is this going on like Instagram? Aha. So wait, this is pre-Photoshop? Oh, that is really interesting. So somehow you were able to push down the brightness of the outside in post. Yeah, because it was quite bright. It looks like you're doing a bit of a bloom pass as well. I mean, generally it looks pretty good. The bag here, something feels off about it. Maybe it's because of like whatever's on the inside. If it was leaning on this side and making it bend outwards, that would help a lot. With like feeling like there's stuff in it and how this surface reacts to like things inside. I mean, otherwise, I guess I just have questions about the scale. Like I can't tell, like these chairs look huge by comparison to that oven. And like if you go, like imagine you're standing here and you're at the stove and then you walk over here and then you go to get some water. Imagine how high your hands have to go to make that happen. There's just some height scale issues, generally speaking. The fridge is tall, and fridges can be tall like that, but it's the positioning of these details that are throwing me off. Like it feels like this should be down here maybe. You know? Holy blind. Are you guys, I hope no one's freaking out. Let's just do this really fast. It's fine. Look at that. Beautiful. The fridge heights from Google. Don't trust Google, man. No. What I would say is trust like natural feeling as well. So you get the metrics right from Google, but then when you put it next to something, like you should have a character that you drag in here just to see the height differences, or like where your hand would go to get water, where your, you know, when you take this chair and you put it next to the counter, if you were to sit down, does it look weird? Those types of things, because generally everything material wise, everything's reading quite well. Looks really nice. I think it's just scale things. Yeah, there something is off when it comes to scale. So one thing you can do to try and combat this is to have an object of truth, and then from that object of truth make everything else work to that object. You know what I mean? So if the fridge is going to be this big and the height of this is where it's at, then this must be larger. Like the chair and the fridge look like they're pretty accurate next to each other. But then when you put it next to the oven actually looks more like a large microwave, like a huge microwave. But yeah, it's just those balancing of details to try and get that to work. Let me see with so one thing, it helps a little bit here in your post work. or pre-post, it goes away actually. So I like the gradients that are happening on the ceiling, and then how these contact. Make sure that you get some contact shading around these just to help them meet the ceiling. It seemed good though. Maybe it's the camera. Either way, what we're pointing out is that there's a scale. Scale feels strange. Like the depth of the counter here is really shallow as well. Like I guess I would do the cutting board here, because if I would lose my mind trying to work with a surface that shallow. And like these cabinets for sure, like I don't know what I'm gonna put my pans in there on their sides maybe. So you know what I mean with that type of stuff. But overall, it feels nice. Materials are really good. It's definitely scale is the number one thing. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. This is also really cool. I guess you use this. Is there a cutting board? No, I'm saying if you have a cutting board, like that's what I mean is like I'm imagining being there using the space, and I'm like, there's no room for a cutting board. I would go crazy. This is really nice because you have different colors on it. It's like a clown map. You can use this for masking really easily, right? Really, really cool. All right, Death Awaits. Let's go. So, I guess the thing that stuck out to me immediately is the camera's tilted, but the water is tilted with it. I don't know. Like, it feels strange. But I guess when you look at it with if you look at it with a concept, it's fine. Hey, no problem, Funky. Dutch angles. Do signs really say morgue do not enter? Is that in the concept? Because you have to enter a morgue. Like maybe that would be written on do not enter. Okay, so it does feel strange with the tilt and the water. Almost everything is in focus. So I'm just going to point out the main things. I'm going to point out the main things that stick out to me for improvement. But overall, I mean, it feels like you're capturing the concept, and I appreciate you posting the roughness of the image. Man, that is a really weird ceiling in the concept. Because I'm like trying to figure. I guess this is those used to be tiles, right? And then all the tiles had fallen down. But let's take a peek in here. Let me just copy this, and let's bring it into Photoshop. Okay, so the stretcher feels really wide. I guess it's because it's really close to you as well, right? I would check the scale of that stretcher, because that stretcher should be able to fit through that door. What else is going on? The stretcher right now is right in the frame, whereas I feel like in the concept it's a little bit further back. It's maybe more around here. Next, I would say is the normal information that you have on the wall here. So the way you can see how the light is wrapping, or like the tiles look rounded. You'll want to check in your normal and make sure that rounding is more flattened out in the normal map. Would you say that that stretcher has been stretched? Maybe, Polysocks? Maybe. If this is wet, like this wet dampness, this is likely also going to be kind of wet and damp, even though it's under the tile, right? So thinking about the roughness in your materials. Let me grab let's copy this one as well. And go back here and we'll paste that here. Oh no, they're not the same. I'm like, oh no. We'll try and, no, that's not gonna, oh, this is a wider angle. Okay. I don't think this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try really fast here. We're close. We're close. We'll go with that. Wet Dampness sounds like a band name. A little bit, yeah. So the roughness that's going on here, the difference between these two surfaces, there should be a difference for sure, but make sure that they're still married together. Like this actually looks like it's in a different environment. And is unaffected by all of the wetness of the scene. I really appreciate your attention to detail when it comes to these contact points. Also, the attention to detail with all of the stuff on the ground. Oh, that is really interesting. Hang on here. What's going on here? So these I assume are like leather. So in the way that you're authoring your roughness, I'd watch out for like edge darkening. It's like the inverse of edge highlighting. Rusty steel. These are steel. Whoa. Okay, so if they're rusty, the whole thing's going to be pretty light in the roughness. I would separate the definition between rust and steel a little bit. Right now, it's all pretty diffused in the roughness. Like it's going to be pretty soft looking, or like almost chalky. Like if you look at the plastic bag here, this is like a mid gray, and you're getting like plastic. You're getting more reflective than a plastic bag on the edge here. So it's those types of details to keep an eye out for when it comes to how you're balancing your roughness. With the graffiti, I would probably unify all of the graffiti to be like this one here, just to get it to pop out from the wall. I would make it a different roughness so that it really like shows itself outside of just what you see in the albedo. This surface right here feels very flat in the decal, so it needs a lot of like normal information to really like push that depth. And these types of decals are perfect for what do you call it? Parallax occlusion mapping, because you can really sell that depth really quickly and easily. And you can get self-shadowing now in Unreal, so you can get some really nice effects with that. The rest of the hallway generally feels pretty good. Wherever you have straight edges, try and fix those. It looks like you've done that on the wall here. And I guess the only other thing I would say is it's really strange that we have a tiled hallway, tiles all the way up to the ceiling, and then a wall without tile. And if this is a morgue, I guess this is the basement of like a hospital, is my assumption. So I guess I would explain why the water's down here as well. So just because you see certain materials in the concept, make sure that you kind of do some thoughts on like how a space is put together. How high do tiles go on walls? What do actual spaces for morgues look like? Just to help like bridge the gaps and like kind of lock the details in. Just so you're not fully committed to a concept, because sometimes concept art is like is a mood shot, and the logic wasn't really part of it. It was more about capturing the feeling, right? And you won't see that you won't see that in the ArtStation post of those concepts unless they explicitly say in the side details. That light bulb also feels a little large, but given all of that information, I think this is really cool, and there's a lot going on here. It's just I would take the feedback I'd given you if you felt like you were done as well with this piece. I say it's safe to move on and just learn from anything that I commented on or anything that you felt like you could get better at, because nothing is worse than being stuck on a project for too long and not knowing how to make it stop, how to close it up. Close a project up is hard. But yeah, nice stuff. Nice stuff. Okay, let's jump to axles. Let's see where we're at here. Oh yeah, dude. That's how you get stuck making a church for a year. Or like a temple or something, right, Jaylee? No, my long project is by design. It was intended to be long. Long and fruitful. So, this looks pretty sick. My immediate reaction is that's a lot of brown. That's a lot of brown surfaces. It's very consistent though, visually. I love the frame shadows. I may have done that myself in some previous projects. This is really a great way to make a blank wall interesting and tell some story. Let's see what we can do. You've been stuck on yours since May? Dude, it happens to the best of us, man. So, let's look at this scene. So, the thing I wanted to say is it feels very brown. And I think it's just a matter of introducing some color to your lighting. There are some other elements like you could change in here to make that read a little less samey in the tones. There is definitely an element of clutter missing. Lee in chat is saying it feels quite clean despite, I mean, it almost feels like there's unpacking going on. Have you ever ran a wire across a hallway and had it curve like this? Okay, let's see what we can do here. Dude, I think if you could make these see-through, that would go a long way, because it would really match like the tone of like what's happening here. Get these see-through. You finished it though, didn't you, Rex? Hell yeah. Let's go to camera raw here. I'm just gonna explore some temperature shifting. Because the other thing is the more yellow you add to a scene, the more like flat it becomes in color. Everything just turns into the Dintober scene. See, I'm always like figuring out if there's a way to bring in the light and then let the rest naturally get filled by the ambient. That would be like the sky from outside. Because the warmth is going to come from the material type and especially the light source. So getting some other color in here is going to be really, really important, I think. There's something about the material that you've got going on here, like the lines in it, the grain, and then the grain of the material here. They just become a lot of like noise, like a grain noise that's happening. Dude, this is really intriguing too. It's like a curved table. I mean, one thing you could do is try like a dawn, like not a dawn, but like maybe a dusk or like sunsetting vibe. Or maybe the sun is just set, but you can still see a little bit of color in the sky. and then turn these lights on and let the lighting of the scene kind of do the work. The floor is very much all carpet. It might be worth going to a different material and then maybe adding a rug or two in here, or maybe some, like, the plastic, what are they called? The plastic computer chair mats that you need to put your computer chair on. Dude, this is cool. I really like these details. But yeah, everything's very similar in wood material. Everything's very brown. Brown wooden floor, let's go. I advise against maybe like a tile, like a linoleum tile. This shot is quite difficult, I think, because it's so far away from assets, so you can't really lean in on the details of those. And then anything that is close is kind of blurred out. It might be worth having a few shots of, like, I mean, you've got these different angles. These are doing a lot. Ooh, I love this. This is great too. See, the assets to me look quite good. Everything is very samey though. Dang, that is an interesting room. Wow, when you raise the ceiling, that was pretty interesting. Huh. Let me go back up to this. Man, the video does it much more justice than just the still shots. Because I didn't even understand what these lines were until I saw the breaks up here. Dude, I'd crank up the lab aspects like crazy over here. Maybe even some other details around here. Lots of paperwork, like just lots of planning. The trash can full of all the papers that have been crumpled up. It's missing that extra layer of like micro detail. You're getting a little bit in these areas, but there's no denying the materials look quite good. Like your execution on the assets themselves is very good. These feel scaled up to me. I don't think I've actually seen boxes like that. Except for in like IKEA at like a fourth the size of that. These are modeled. They look modeled. Yeah, they're modeled. Yeah, and I'm always a big fan of progress shots like this. It's super cool. Dude, nice. Nice. Yeah, I don't know how to defeat the brownness. I mean, maybe it just introducing some other materials. Serb. Yeah, I get that. I get that feeling as well. Super nice though. All right, we got a castle here, Sparta. So if you could do a quick critique of my tower, I'd like to improve a little the background to publish it on ArtStation and maybe improve the tower if I can. So the tower looks pretty cool. The tower looks really cool. I wouldn't have this tower. Yeah, dude, this tower's rad. Tower looks pretty cool. I would get rid of this one. This tree is like just like barely touching it. I would get the tree closer to it or further away just to get rid of this like this awkward spacing between the two objects. When it comes to this open doorway and the this wizard looking guy coming towards it, I get confused about this guy. What's going on with this dude? What's he up to? Like I would just focus on this guy and maybe like the fire that's here, put it on both sides, and like an entryway in. Playing with the framing. Yeah, this... I'm trying to... It's difficult when you have a tower because you're looking up so much. Let's see. There was a few other shots of it, right? Yeah, dude, look at that, bro. That's awesome. So execution on this asset, very strong. I actually really like it. I think when it comes to the framing of this, let me see what we can do here. I mean, what if you were to like, I'm just going to explore. What do you do something like this? I mean, it's kind of on like a rocky bluff type thing. I wonder if you could put it somewhere there, and then maybe you could like, let me see. Oh no, can't. I don't know. It feels like it's just asking to be on like a hill or something. Because you could have this like just be on like a giant rock formation, and then you could try to think how you would do this. So let's say that this is like a big rock set up here. Maybe this land continues outward. This kind of just drops off, and you've got like a path that kind of goes this way. So think about this as more like rock, and then just frame it up to be like this tower that I mean, it's one of the few times that I would probably center something. I don't know. What's up?
Is your phone in here?
Yeah.
Can you turn off the Bluetooth? Can you use the speaker?
Oh. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm like, what? What's happening? Chris, what's up, man? Yeah, so I mean it could probably be a combination of this. There doesn't need to be like water or anything down here. But if you could like if we just let's see if we can just like, I don't know, take this tree. Man, I need some like Photoshop brushes of trees. That'd help a lot in these types of scenarios. Or if I can just like this type of stuff, I think could go a long way. And you just put this behind. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this is helping. I feel like I feel like I'm just kind of exploring some framing, because with a building this large, you have to look up, and it's like trying to figure out how to frame that. Like, Chris is here. What Chris would do, he would literally just center the whole thing up. Like this image here. Oh, nice. Nice. Thanks. No. There we go. This one's pretty good. It turned into AI art. Nice, Dinkle. This one I like quite a bit. I still don't think you need this character here. But this at least gives us some detail in the sky and some logic around it, while also getting us to look like this. Just like we're doing that compositionally, which is really good. It's getting us to just look here and in the tower, and then everything out here you could almost not have. We just tone this down. Like, you don't even need that out there. Even this stuff here. This is really close to the edge here. Whilst watching. Nice. We got like 40 minutes. Getting there, Chris. Getting there. But yeah, man. Getting some separation of the elements as well is going to be really good. So if we talk about like all this stuff over here, and then like I just do this, and then we can tone it down. But you can see like maybe a little bit of it peeks out through the fog, but like getting that layered separation, it's a bit Elden Ring, right? A little bit, yeah. Generally, it looks pretty cool. There's nothing really calling you here other than a dark door. I think getting rid of the fire and maybe adding a little bit of lighting in here could be cool. Yeah, this fog to like just kind of push things back could be nice. But yeah, I feel like I'm just repeating myself, so hopefully it's useful to you. The scene looks really good. I like this this building. It's just something where it's like, okay, it just needs to be, it's missing something, you know? Something like that could be cool. Just getting you to want to go in there. But yeah, tall buildings, difficult to frame. Yeah, if the trees were, the trees could definitely be used a little bit more. But it's difficult, especially photoshopping it. Smoke in the chimney, that could be interesting. But yeah, be careful of these tangents. I don't know if that's me doing that or if it's you. Yeah, you're talking about foreground elements, Charlie. Just getting some stuff around the edges here. I'd get closer, maybe. It's too much middle ground, nothing in the foreground nor the background. So I'd probably play the framing a bit more. Yeah. With the building being as tall as it is, in order to do that, you're going to have to get like plants near the edge of the frame. You're going to have to get further away, or the camera higher so that you can have stuff in the back that you can push back. Yeah, there's a lot of like little micro things that could be used to help with the framing. I mean, when I look at this, I'm like, dude, this is rad. So it's about grounding it. Yeah, it's right now the tower is its own, right? And the environment is not supporting the reveal of it or like framing it well. Uh, I'm doing all these hand motions you guys can't see at all. Um, anyways, pretty cool. Pretty cool. It needs that. It needs those adjustments around the structure itself to draw interest towards it. Yeah, it's definitely more about the presentation. Let's see here. All right. We're going to look at skies. Here's skies piece. Hello, critique would be appreciated, especially for texturing on this. I'm going to give a very bad time with presentation too. If you have advice on renders to be made for props like this, I'd love them. So the camera right now is extremely close. I mean, generally, texturing wise, this looks pretty sick at like first glance. Maybe the contrast of the surface is a little harsh. Hey, no problem, Dean. Or Sparta, I should say. Like if we look at this one, let's copy this one. So if we look at these shots, it's like you don't want to be full white in the pixels, but you also don't want to be too chalky either in the mids. Is that a readable QR code? Yes, it goes to an ArtStation. It goes to his ArtStation. Hell yeah. But what were you saying? You've got... So this surface doesn't really feel... Like this feels like it should be much more reflective. Would be super meta as if in the reflection you could see like a DSLR taking a picture. This is really nice. The little like dirty bits in there. Oh ho, I recognize that. Some plasticity. Bakes look good. UVs look pretty nice. The roughness or normal seem a bit strange. I think it's the roughness. I don't know. One thing that tends to happen a lot is like if we scroll up here. So where did it go? This directional scratching information. This is usually in the normal. Depending on like what caused it. This type of normal information is kind of odd. But I mean, generally this looks pretty good. And I'm not of the skill level to be like building stuff like this. Like you're already building a hard surface asset better than me for sure. The directional scratches, I think it depends on how the scratches, like if it's machined lines, then it's in the roughness or in the normal. If it's non-machined lines, then it's in the roughness and albedo. So like you can see how clean this feels. When we scroll up here, there's one thing I would say is there's too much posts images in here. Like I'd make one image for all of your high poly render, and then a wireframe, one image. You don't need to show this one. This is good. Oh, you're doing displacement. Huh. It's so you don't lose the cap, man. You don't want to lose those caps. You know how expensive those are to replace? Yeah, I think this noise, I see it here as well, is probably a bit too strong. It could probably be halved. And like how you're doing this noise here for like the dirt, it's in areas that I guess you wouldn't expect. So it feels more like sparkles. Like I was, I was hanging out with the family at home and I forgot my sight on the ground and my kids spilled sparkles all over it. I felt bad, man. Yeah, it's just feels a little contrasty in the surface information. Gold glitter, not sand. And yeah, there's just the surface here feels a little strange. This site also like it's holographic, right? So it should feel like it's parallax, should be feeling like it's further inside. Pretty cool though. The text maybe is that a little bold? I don't know. I'd have to look at reference. I feel like you've looked at a lot of references. The gun that you're placing it on, it feels strange how low quality it is versus the part. You took it from a photo of a scope and made a stencil, dude. Nice. Yeah, so maybe the stencil is just a little bubbly. Pretty cool though. I don't have too much else I can say on it. It just feels like the surfaces are a little on the strong side, like it's hyper real in like how much information it's thrown at you. All right, Alex, you're next. Currently texturing this lantern pole for your tentacle scene, and I was wondering if it's easy to read the material. I mean, generally it looks pretty good to me. What's happening down here feels a little odd. Like I don't understand what is happening. Like is this painted and then the paint's wearing off? I would see if you can find some alphas online that can help you to remove those. Yeah, you can see here, like in your reference, the contrast between the kind of rusting and the metal. I see what we're looking at here now. You can see there's not much contrast between the transition between these two materials, and in here you're seeing it pretty heavily. It's just a matter of like cranking up the contrast in it. Thought I heard someone knock on your window door. It's probably Madu. Oh, I heard it. Dude, that is terrifying. Hang on. Dude, that sounded so creepy. I think it was Maddie. If it was my window, can you imagine someone's fifth floor knocking on my window? um, I mean, I think generally speaking, this looks good. I would work on the contrast between those two materials and then call it good, because when you look at the overall scene, that's how you should be gauging this individual piece. Does that make sense? So work on the contrast between these two materials, and then honestly, I think you're probably fine. Spooky season, get out, man, get out. Okay, before we jump to the last one, I'm gonna go to Frank's buffers here and just take a peek. Oh, that is interesting. The material difference up here. There's like blending happening there. Huh. Is that vertex painting between these? So I think that blending, I would at least use the height map of the tiles to try and get the blending to happen in the crevices at least first before they completely take over. Because I don't understand how is that happening? I guess you don't really. Let me see here. You don't really see it, so it doesn't really stick out. Dang, crazy. Okay. I'm surprised by how not rough your tiles are, but how much they lack reflection. I don't know if you know what I mean, because they're so dark, but they just don't seem to be reflecting any of the lights or feeling like they are. Huh. I would see if you have to apply like you shouldn't have to apply a reflection probe there. Because they're missing normal height info? I mean, is there normal on them? Even if there wasn't a normal on it, it would be even more evident. Because it'd be like this crazy sheen. Like these are so dark that they're almost like glass. Are those colored lights just emissive? That's a good question. I don't think you have to use reflection captures in UE5 unless you're doing lighting in a very specific way. So these are lights. They're not just emissive doing the work, because I don't think emissive can do this stuff. So, wow, that's really strange. Lights plus emissive. Nice. That's really odd. I mean, generally speaking, this looks pretty good. For the roughness, I would definitely try and get some more variation inside the surface instead of it just being white or close to white. I think that's a little too bright for a roughness of that type of material. Interesting. And like this type of blending that you're seeing here is very strange. Like this edge is a bit more logical to me. Scene's coming together really nicely, though. I would just keep going. Just keep going. I would look into those tiles and see if you can get them to pop a little bit more. Right now, maybe the tiles feel a little small. Maybe they could be a little bit bigger. But yeah, cool. All right, let's check out Jasper's scene here. Nice. Look at this. What's going on here? So, let's see. Jasper says, looking for your overall critique on the environment I'm currently working on. So I guess what we want to know is what type of environment is this? So there's a lot of arches. There's some like large stone blocks being placed. There's this like walkway with arches all the way down it. There's some interesting foliage stuff going on here. So compositionally, it's not too rough. Like there's some elements that are up close, but I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, is this like a what is this place? You know what I mean? Fallout 4 fights Dark Souls. Nice. There's a conflict of two things as well. You've got the Razor Crest chilling here, and then you have this environment. So there's two very different worlds kind of mixing right now. Is this this has quarry vibes maybe? It's either a quarry or they're farming, or this is like sand thing collection stuff. So understanding the space, I would remove the Razor Crest and just focus on the environment, because this feels super alien. No pun intended, or not pun, but no jokes, no jokes. I'm not funny. Ha. um, it's supposed to be a mixture of two worlds. I mean that can work. I think in this shot though, it is not working. Because it, like with the angle, it doesn't actually feel like the Razor Crest has landed, or is maybe tilting. Maybe like if the Razor Crest were to land, it would land like outside of this, right? It would land on like the outskirts of this place. Is it maybe like robots entering Oxford University? Maybe. But I think one of the most important things you can do for yourself when it comes to environments is to be able to help us understand what the environment is almost the instant we see it. Like being able to understand what the space is, have all the props that help support like what is happening in front of us. So I can be like, oh, this is for like if there's like a pickaxe thing or shovel, or like it'll tell you instantly, okay, this is what this place is for. This is what they're doing here. Being able to dissect it as you look through the picture. Um, it's also very gray. I mean, I guess maybe I don't know if there's textures on everything yet. When it comes to sculpting, make sure that you're hiding your brush strokes so that like these sculpting patterns don't come through. You can do that through like alphas, or just like just scraping away that information just enough to like hide it. Just having it in mind will get rid of it. Keeping an eye out for it. When it comes to the foliage, at least back here, the back face. Oh, really, Funky? Dude, you're hardcore. Um, the back face of the foliage is dark as well. I would suggest pointing the normals of the foliage straight up, or doing it in the shader just to soften the way the normals are perceived on foliage. I guess I want to see some textures on this stuff. It doesn't feel textured at all right now. I see some patterns, but it's all very gray. More contrast between the alien and human side. I would, uh, it could be its size or the props, so you can see if aliens are way bigger than the environment, or the other way around. Yeah, I'm torn on mixing two worlds like this, because right now it feels very forced. And I don't know what's happening in the environment, but it does look like you have an understanding of modularity. So there is that. I would love to see some more defined materials on it, and an environment that doesn't feel as gray. Star Wars does a good job of mixing sci-fi and primitive structures. I think it's because, generally speaking, you're looking at everything is very familiar and you understand everything, but then you're also incorporating like 20% alien, and that's it. Everything else is grounded. It's true, Fatal. Are you okay, Chris? Is your head hurting? Too much bunny on your head? Chris. uh, I definitely Charlie Brown. So Charlie feels a lack of understanding of the ground touch of you mean of the Razor Crest, and then removing some of the front. Like if you were to open this up a bit more and really show the contact, that could help a lot, I think. It's an interesting scene. It needs some unpacking to understand what we're looking at. A higher camera angle could help as well. I like the camera angle. I think of just removing some of the elements right in the front here, just to let us see it contacting would help. Chris, stiff LDs. But yeah, cool. I hope that helped. We've got our last one here. It's from Matthew Gorney. So we got this. Dude, look at the pods. And then we've got 2 videos. Let me. How am I gonna do this? Let's maybe I can do it like this. If I full screen this. Why is it zoomed in? What is happening here? It feels weird it's so zoomed in. Maybe because you're wanting us to look at the specific elements and how they move around. Dude, it's looking right at us, bro. So if it's this zoomed in, I would definitely make sure that this area is in focus. It feels very blurry. Let's see what this one's about. Oh yeah, dude. Dude, this one's sick. Okay, hang on. Could be the compression because it's in Discord as well. Man, I freaking love this. This camera has whips and compression. Don't have the encoder yet. Oh, okay, okay. But dude, the animations you're working with, I don't know, Chris, did you see the one where the pods are opening up? Okay, hang on. I think this is before I gave the feedback. Look at this, like the tertiary animation with the antennas wiggling around. Oh yeah, dude. That is freaking cool. Yeah, this is before the... Holy moly. Here you go. You have a pretty good balance of the... Look at the rocket pods now. Oh, yeah. Man. Waved at the camera with a minigun, just like... That'd be great. You could beat that in a fight? Nicely. I believe you. So... Don't mind the curtains. Oh my gosh, look at this scale change. That looks a little better. Dude, laser scan from the... Oh, dude, that would be... A laser scan from this would be really cool. Or like some type of grid pattern that goes around along the ground. This that worked pretty well. Maybe the back of the seat feels a little high. But scale-wise, this is... Yeah, that helped a lot. Scaling the chairs down and then bringing these elements down a little bit. Because like this bend that's happening here, that's going to be around the upper mid part of your back. Really cool, though. Nice update. Dude, this is... Yeah, man. I want to see this thing walking around a little bit. And I want to see the camera shaking from its contact. Like in this one. I think if the camera like wobbled a little bit every time a foot contacted the ground. That'd be magic. Oh yeah, you remember that, Jay Lee? Yeah, it looks like it's nearing completion. This mech is motivation and depression at once. A vodka espresso. You want more cables? Interesting. I I think adding more cables at this point would increase the detail too far. But cables on the ground, let's go. Dude, can you capture some like it's powering on, have cables shooting off of it and like sputtering around, with all the pressure, like, and it's just like flowing all over the ground, and there's just smoke kind of building up, and then this guy's like running to the side. He tips over this thing. There's like warheads just rolling across the ground. Rockets start going off. People are panicking. There's like 30 people in the back running for the door. Camera's shaking. Panic. Pure panic. Do that. Do that. Scare the crap out of us. Oh, adventure tempo? Bro, that is next level. That is a amazing idea. So basically you have a guy and just have his hands at his waist in front of him. Like, when you what is it? When you got guys like with remote control, like street machinery. So in Sweden, I was kind of blown away. I saw a remote control jackhammer, and that blew my mind. I've never seen that type of stuff, and it was kind of shocking to see someone using a remote control to jackhammer the ground. I'm going to see if I can find like a good... copy image. So you could have a guy doing this. Let's see if this works. See this dude? He just has like a little... And you could just have him wiggle around just a little bit, and it would instantly read as like he's... Especially if he's wiggling around in the same tempo or movement. I saw adventure tempo and said tempo. If he was wiggling around in the same movement as the mech, that would instantly do it. Oh my god, FPV headset would be amazing as well. He's like this dude. Nailed it. See, that has cables. Oh, you're talking about these hydraulic lines? Dude, can you imagine? Bro, this is... I'm excited. Matthew, I'm so sorry, but you have to do this now. Oh, another... Man, the camera needs to go back a little. Like, you just can't... So if I could say one thing about that video, like if the camera went back, just... Let me screenshot this. Okay, so if we go here, if this is your frame and you zoom back to maybe like here and give it all that room, man, there's some magic to be had here. So imagine you've got your gradient for the background and it just kind of goes off. So it's almost like a spotlight, you know? It'd be magical, dude. I can see it. Yeah. You can have a big circle. I mean, you could even have the camera moving around and then like, you know, the camera's like panning and doing this and then it just like, you know, it zooms in and then it's like framing on the rocket pods. Oh. Anyways, really cool. It's coming out really nicely. Love to see it. Maybe the rocket pod heads could be really shiny or like far less diffused in the roughness. That way you just get a few elements that are a bit reflective on here. I think that could help a little bit. Maybe this could be a bit reflective as well. Just to, you know, get some range in your roughness. But really, really nice stuff. Really nice stuff. And Funky, nice job on like the rapid like jumping in. Oh man. I dig it. Get us some camera shakes in there. Maybe some wet spots on the ground, some puddles. Whoa. That's super cool, man. Super nice. That's been some serious effort you've been putting in, and it's getting there because of it. Oil spills on the ground, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh no problem, Funky. But nice job. Nice work, everyone. I wonder if I can. I'm gonna turn this up here. Get some beats in there. I can just pop in for a second and be like, hello. All right. All right. But some good stuff, guys. Everyone's doing some amazing work. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to post your work and just get it out there so we can react to it. Super nice. Hopefully I have my... It's bugging me I don't have a light here. Usually I have this light that's giving me like that purple edge. But no purple edge. Nothing. It's bugging me. Anyways, you guys are doing some amazing stuff. Really love to see it. Just so you guys can remember or be reminded of, we have completed this year's portfolio reviews. So it'll just be me focusing on my stuff and then also doing Discord critiques for the rest until we enter 2024. So if you guys got any questions, we've got a Discord in here that can help you out. Discord. There you go. No, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate all the donations and the Patreon subs. You guys are making all of my software a little bit easier on the bank. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to get out of here before my webcam freezes. Have a good evening, and I'll see you guys in Discord or on Sunday. Sunday, yes. I'm like, yes? Peace, guys.